Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 185. I had my wife take me to work this morning. Got there nice and early. Brought my baseball cards from my friend Mike, who's been trying to sell them for a long time. It's a 1970 and 1971 Topps complete set. And back then they had to get them one card at a time. And I've got the complete set here that I want to sell for him. There is a card show about 8 hours from here, and there's someone at work going to the card show, so I gave them to him to take care of that for me. So he's going to sell them for me at the card show. So it seems like those cards are worth probably between $1,000 and $2,000 depending on the condition of the cards. I believe all the cards are between probably a 6 and an 8, maybe a couple outliers, but all the good cards, I believe I've had them looked at in the past. Hank Aaron and all those, I think Johnny Bench is in there, are all right around a 7. So they're in good shape. None of them are graded, but they're in a binder. They're perfect. So he's going to take them, and I guess this is an enormous card show, and he's going to sell them. So I thought I would give him a percentage of it, and my wife said I should give him $100, but I was thinking more like 20%, more like $400 or more, because it's a lot of work to go walk around with those. They're heavy. They're each probably 12 to 15 pounds for the binder, and he's gonna have to. He said he's gonna take a cart with him of some kind, a pull behind type of cart, and have his stuff in there. So I have to be fair with him. So I think that would be a good number. So we'll see what happens with that. Today is Tuesday, of course, and I do have my car back, and air conditioning is running beautifully. Everything is good. So the only other thing I think I want to do to the car is probably this weekend have the last 2 tires replaced that I didn't get replaced before. I should have done it before, but I was lazy. And then I know I'm good for another 40,000 miles at least. We've put 40,000 on this car just since I bought it. More than 40. So I think it would be good to have the other 2 tires replaced as well. Today we're gonna head to the casino probably only one time. I'll try to squeeze out another, but the problem is I do need to be at a government office this afternoon before they close, so I don't want to miss out on that. It's something that I have to do. It's time sensitive, and it's worse than a fine if I don't do it. So I need to get it done, so I'll probably do that, but I may do something tonight like poker, or maybe late night trip to a casino or something like that. I haven't decided, so that's really about it. I had to leave the office to go to the bank, and that's why I was able to record this. I'm just heading back to the office right now, and I'll be back to update you shortly. Alright guys, I am back, and I wanted to talk about something here that just occurred to me, and I'm sure we all knew this already, but just kind of reinforced what we already know, that these casinos don't just have a problem with their customers that are upset with low comps and low payouts and bad service, and you're going to a casino not because you're going to win. You're going to a casino so that you can be treated well, you can feel important, you can have some fun, and when they pay you less and your money doesn't last as long, when they're rude to you, when they don't listen to you, it makes the experience worse. And a lot of these bigger companies, especially, I can think of one especially, that buys properties, runs them into the ground. We've talked about this before, and they're just making their business worse, which causes things to get worse. It's like taxes. You raise taxes, people have less money, they spend less, so you get less taxes. So you raise taxes, so they have less, so they spend less. And you have to find the right the right balance between how much you're taking from them, how much you're giving them in quality, between free food, nice people, comps, stuff like that. So the reason I bring this up is I was getting ready to leave, and I pushed cash out, and I said yes, and it didn't work. I said yes, it didn't work. I said yes, it didn't work. So I pushed no, and it didn't work. So I pushed it again, the no disappeared, and it spun the reels at over $6 a spin. So I lost $6 for no reason. And when I mentioned it to someone, I said, look, I just want to let you know that there might be something wrong with this screen. Oh, okay, I'll let somebody know. And walks away. And doesn't even care. Doesn't even say, well, I can't give you your money back, but I'm really sorry, or anything like that. It's okay, whatever. So, anyway, I did end up only playing 2 machines. Found just tiny plays, and ended up doing okay on those. I did look at the machines that I was playing yesterday that had been reset, but it looks like someone was there this morning, and I had a feeling someone was there this morning because and not just a regular Advantage player, but someone working on a project, if you know what I mean, because everything was at reset levels everywhere. Every game, everything was at reset levels everywhere. And that points to someone from out of town or someone from in town working on a new project or something like that. So I knew someone was there, but I went to the machines and they were all cleaned out. And there was this lady actually playing $100 buy a bonus on some of this stuff too, and it was like disgusting to watch it. Buy it for 100, get 22. Buy it for 100, get 49. And like 1 out of every 10 times you end up with like 114, and you're paying $100 for the buy a bonus. But I have heard some people saying that buy a bonus is the best way to go, because you get, you run that much money through and you're guaranteed to get something back. But I disagree. Obviously the best is going to be to find something that's beatable. The second best might be just to play if you're just trying to get points, might just be, or use your free play or something like that. The lowest denomination is what I would play. Something with an even number. It doesn't have an 8 or something at the end of it, or a 6, so it's easier for you to calculate. Okay, I have 100 in free play, 100 spins at $1, instead of how many spins at 88 cents is that gonna make. So that's what I would do. If you're just trying to go nuts and take a shot, I guess you could do that. I still wouldn't recommend it, but that's my feeling. I'm probably wrong, but with the experience that I have over the last 30 years plus with casinos tells me that. So anyway, we ended up ahead $98, and right now I am going to Chipotle, and we're gonna get ourselves a nice salad and head back to the office. I'll be at the office until my meeting with my manager, and then I have to leave for something else I have to do. Hopefully that all works out and I'm not wasting my time, because I'm giving up another opportunity to go to the casino to do this. So hopefully it all works out. So right now, heading out to Chipotle, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back, enjoying my air conditioning in my car here. Just left work. It's almost 2:30. Had a meeting with my manager, and he said he had a meeting with HR, and they were worried about everyone and how they feel about the layoffs, which is a very, today thing to do, be worried about people's feelings about stuff. So I told him I'm cool. I said, basically, I ask you what I need to do, I get it done, and if there's cutbacks later, then we live with it. And we talked about that for a few minutes, and I said, I don't understand how some people are, because part of the reason, there's always chemical imbalance and this and that, right? That's different. But part of the reason why we have so many people in this country that are depressed all the time, part of it is because they have time to be depressed. If you live in a country that's war-torn and you used to go down the street to get water, and now you have to walk 8 miles to get water, you don't have time to sit at home and be depressed. You're going to die. You're going to do what you need to do to stay alive. And once you get past all that, then you try to, advance and get better. And then when you have a house and you're comfortable and you're bored, it's a lot easier to get depressed than when you're busy. But when you have a lifeline, you have your parents taking care of you, then you have credit cards, then you have all these social programs and things like that helping you and all that. It's harder to not be depressed. So anyway, my kid's calling me here. I'm going to get this, but I am heading out of the office right now to take care of some personal stuff, and there will be more AP stuff this evening. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. Took care of my personal business, went home, had dinner, relaxed a little bit, hung out with the family, talked to another car dealership about a car, and again, a lot of bait and switch. Price goes up $2,500 based on taxes and all this stuff. So I think I changed my mind. I'm just going to buy a used car for the kid, and then after 2 years, the car is still good. I'll get the kid a new car and pass the car on to the next one. And I think that might be a good way to go. So I'm having someone check Facebook for me, since I don't use Facebook or any of those things. And hopefully should buy a car the next day or two, hopefully before my trip. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think that's the best way to go at this point, because even a lease on a pretty cheap car is going to be like $10,000 for 2 years, $15,000 for 3 years. At that point, why wouldn't I just buy the car? So yeah, right now I think we're just going to get a used one, and then we'll buy one from there. So that's what's happening right now. And I am heading to the poker club right now. Then we'll try to hit a casino on our way home, try to make up a little bit more money today as well. So just like to keep the ball rolling, continue to make good money like we have been the last couple weeks, even the last month and a half or so, and just try to keep things going. So that's what's going on right now. And I checked my charts, and I'm already beyond my goal for the month. Anything from here on to the end of the month is going to be cutting the deficit, in my where I'm supposed to be by this day of the year. So we've already cut the deficit in half, from down about 40,000 to about 21,000, to be on pace for our goal for the year. And I'd love to cut it by another 5,000 the next couple days. So all right, I'll be back. And have more responsibilities at work. So you need to learn how to use that as early as possible. And your job may not implement it for a year or 2 or 3. And if you can get to using it now, then that's even more work that you can get done, and you'll have time to do other things to make more money potentially. So yeah, it's going to come down to, do you know AI? Oh, you don't? Well, these guys do. We're looking for people who do now. So be really careful with that. Anyway, we're going to head to the gas station. We're going to head home, and I'll catch up with you here in about 4 hours. At 6 o'clock, I should get about an hour and a half, 2 hours sleep probably. I'll catch up with you at 6 o'clock when we'll be heading out to our first casino. So if you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.